What is up, diecast collectors? Welcome back to another diecast review. Man, my voice sounds a lot better now in this diecast review. Today, we have ourselves a throwback, folks. An unofficial throwback. This was not marketed as a throwback, but I sure as heck am going to market it as a throwback. Here is Hailie Deegan's 2021 Craftsman We Build Pride Ford F-150 for David Gilliland Racing. And my goodness, I really love this diecast. This is such a cool release, honestly. I've been wanting more Hailie Deegan diecasts to get released because I am going to support her. But man, this is a really cool diecast. I really like this one. You know, Craftsman, I've liked as a sponsor in NASCAR. They've had really cool paint schemes since that Eric Jones car in 2019. And you know, this Hailie Deegan truck is no different. You know, I really like the way this one came out on a truck mold. This truck, to me, is a throwback, and we're going to find out why it is in a little while. So here it is. We're going to get this one out of the box, and God, I hope I don't mess up the package, and I probably am. Man, these boxes are becoming harder and harder to open. Come on, man. Man, this thing is trapped in here. Oh, there goes the box. Looks like the package took one for the team. Here we go, folks. The Hailie Deegan truck is now out of its package, and my goodness, man. And I'm going to say it's an altered throwback now that I think of it, because I just noticed a big difference as the other car that I have that I'm going to compare it to. I noticed something big, but we'll get to that in a second. So we have a little chip right there. That's just wonderful and very respectful to the driver. Not. You got number 1 right there, Ford F-150, Ford. Craftsman, We Build Pride, Camping World. You got Simpson, Sunoco, and then you got the Sunoco Rookie of the Year. You got Goodyear right there, NASCAR Race Truck, ARP, you know, the sponsors I cannot read. Cosmetic, Holly, EFI, Tilton, Calico, and I cannot read that other sponsor. Hailie Deegan's name, which has a chip on it. That's even more respectful. Man, we are doing a great job honoring Hailie Deegan. We got Ford Built Tough, David Gilliland Racing, Toter, Lucas, and 2 sponsors that I cannot read. Number 1 right there. We can read that. We got Wix, Honda, MMS, Cosmetic, Odyssey Batteries, Lucas Oil. I cannot read that other sponsor or pronounce it. Gear Tech and Lincoln Welders. Craftsman right there. You got visitcraftsman.com, and I use Craftsman tools. I know a thing or two about Craftsman, and it's really exciting to have another diecast of it. Visitcraftsman.com, you got Ford F-150, you got the Ford Michigan license plate with the 21 registration. You got DGR right there, you got the rookie stripes with the number 1, and of course Ford Performance with the Craftsman logo. So for this paint scheme, it's spray painted gloss red. And of course, the paint scheme, this is a throwback paint scheme to Christopher Bell, Daniel Hemrick, and Denny Hamlin. As you could tell, the exact same paint scheme. I don't know how in the world Toyota and Joe Gibbs let this happen, but they did. So we're just gonna, and this car has ran races, this Christopher Bell car. So this diecast has been busy in my collection because I love running that paint scheme for him. But as you can tell, they start out with the black front end, the black nose, and of course, it has a stripe design that goes up and across. I never got to review this car on the channel, so you're going to see this exact paint scheme is the same as this one, so a review of this paint scheme would also be a review of this paint scheme. So, starting out with the black, you have the little striping that goes across the side. It kind of spikes up and then just goes straight across, like a little type of pattern to it. It's very, very angular. There's a lot of angular paint schemes. You got the stripe that kind of shoots across the side past the wheel, shoots back down, and kind of shoots back up, like a trapezoid little shape right there with the little black marks on it. Striping, and you got some more black striping as the black continues across the side and onto the quarter panels. And of course, you got a lovely chip right there. And it continues all the way to the side. And I really like that side stripe. So not only do you have that really sharp, just side design to it, where it kind of just spikes up and then shoots down and back across again, and then you have these sharp looking stripes. You got the little trapezoid shape right there, and of course the regular shape right there. I really love how that looks. This is just an awesome paint scheme no matter what vehicle you have it on. And of course the back is all black with the black spoiler, the black deck lid, or the truck lid I should say, and of course the black spoiler goes along with it. And the black splitter goes along with the paint scheme as well. And it is all that classic Craftsman red. I really love Craftsman, the brand. They have such a, and another mark right there. But, it's a very cool die cast. I really like Craftsman as a sponsor, and I use Craftsman products, so of course, man, that camera was really yellow there for a second. But I love Craftsman products. Stanley Black & Decker is an awesome brand to get tools from. But yeah, I really like this car. This car, I keep saying car. We're not looking at a Mustang. We're looking at a Ford F-150, not a Mustang Ford. But, this is a really cool one. The all-black back bumper gives me vibes of the Dale Jr. stuff. It really does. But, of course, we're talking about a Hailie Deegan diecast. And I love the Craftsman red. I always loved it. And, of course, we're going to do a better comparison. Oh, yeah, how did I forget the number? You got a thin black outline, a red outline, which is kind of a different red than the paint because, the decal system. And, of course, that's how their reddish-orange logo is, looking on top of the normal red. So, the black outline, the red outline, and then the white number fill-in. Okay, now we could talk about the comparison again. Better comparison this time. So, you got one is matte and one is gloss. But, of course, one is on the Toyota Camry mold and one is on the truck. And honestly, I cannot tell you which one looks better. They both look awesome. They both look really cool. It's just like the Martin Truex Jr. Auto owners where they just copied the paint scheme, but at least it was the same manufacturer. This one was a different manufacturer. One was a Ford and one was a Toyota. Almost said Chevy. Man, I'd love to have Flashracer Motorsports to have a Craftsman paint scheme because we use the tools. But I see, they both have visit craftsman.com. You see, if I would have reviewed this car, I would have noticed that. But as you can see, they're different manufacturers and different series, of course. Very cool to have a little pair-up like this. I've always wanted to have back when Craftsman first came in for the Gen 6 era. We got the Ryan Preece Xfinity, but not the diecast. It was a real-life paint scheme. Ryan Preece and Eric Jones. That would have been a cool two-car set to have. And now we have a two-car 2021 set of Craftsman diecast. Man, I love this, man. This is so awesome. I would love, because if they were able to get Joe Gibbs sponsors on a different team like David Gilliland Racing, I'd love to see Chase Elliott get this sponsor, get Craftsman on his car, because honestly, I'd love to have my favorite driver to have the sponsor. But regardless of what driver has the sponsor, it is Craftsman nonetheless. They have great looking paint schemes. And honestly, the matte, I don't even know which one I like more, the matte or the gloss. It just looks great on both. What is your favorite of these two, guys? I'd love to know from you guys. But of course, that's the Cup car that runs in the Flash Racing Cup series. And of course, the diecast series, of course, the Flash Racing Cup. I'd love to have a Flash Racing truck. Oh, man, how did I not mention that Goodyear logo that's on life support? Man, I was going so crazy about how great the paint scheme is, and here I am pointing out a Goodyear logo that's on life support right there. That thing is absolutely torn to shreds. So that is absolutely, man, you guys got to start respecting Hailie Deegan, man. I'm starting to really have a problem with that. But, I really like this truck. Very cool. This reminds me so much of the EA games and the NASCAR PSP game when we had Craftsman as an option to sponsor our cars. And, of course, this is a tribute to that, it almost seems like. So not only is it a throwback to Christopher Bell and Daniel Hemrick and Denny Hamlin, because they also ran this paint scheme in their respective series, but this kind of reminds me of those days. The EA games where they had Craftsman-themed trucks, and I loved those Craftsman-themed paint schemes. They were so cool, and making my own Craftsman paint schemes were so awesome. I love this sponsor. Honestly, I have a top 5 of favorite sponsors like Valvoline, Craftsman, sponsors that I just loved to see on these cars. It's just incredible to have them, and to have a Hailie Deegan one now, it's just awesome. I love that idea. It's just a great idea. Craftsman sponsorship on Hailie Deegan. It could have been cool if it said Craftswoman on the car. But that would have been cool. That would have been a nice little alteration. I would love to recommend that to the paint department. But, it is what it is. Hopefully they'll come back and sponsor her some more so we can see this beautiful paint scheme some more. But knowing the Cup Series side of it, Christopher Bell might get a new Craftsman paint scheme. I don't know if they'll use the same paint scheme again. But man, it's such a it's a universal paint scheme for Craftsman, and it just looks great. There's your 360 view again of this truck. I really love this. Hailie Deegan is one of the drivers that I like, of course, so it does matter that she has Craftsman sponsorship, just like it would matter if, let's say, Chase Elliott had Valvoline as one of his sponsors. But there it is, folks. This is the Craftsman truck for Hailie Deegan. And of course, two of my favorite drivers got truck diecast releases in this recent haul. So to see them all, make sure you comment and like for this video and subscribe to the 9446 channel. I really love doing this for you guys, and to be doing it for drivers like Hailie Deegan and sponsors like Craftsman, it does mean a lot, folks. So thank you guys for checking out this diecast review. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next diecast review. And any truck diecast, hopefully it's a Chevy. And we'll see you guys in the next diecast review. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecasts.